Hey guys, welcome to Investorlift Falcon. If you're watching this video, you probably just signed up for a Falcon, or you're wondering what Falcon is all about. Today we're going to go through the key successful tips that you can use to maximize your use on Investorlift Falcon. We're going to go through 5 different key success points throughout this video. Number 1, we're going to review how we can create the most attractive posting possible so your buyer can spike their interest and make an offer on the spot. Second, we're going to go through marketing campaigns on Investorlift. We can do both email and text marketing, but it's not just click of a button. There's best ways to utilize marketing campaign to drive the most amount of quality buyers into your posting. Number 3, we're going to review Artemis Mode. With Falcon, you get access to both my buyers and neighbor buyers on Artemis Mode. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you some tips of how the top closers on Investorlift are using Artemis Mode to push their assignments to the maximum. Last but not least, we will review God Mode and how our top tier users are using God Mode to connect with the best buyers quickly. If you haven't done it already, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below if you have anything that you would like me to cover in the next video. Let's get started. So on any tier on Investorlift, the first thing to do when you want to move your deal is to create a posting. Now, this is a very crucial part of utilizing Investorlift. The more attractive the deal is, the more interest a buyer will show, and it'll give them the confidence to make an offer on the spot. Now, I'm not going to go through every button and every blank with you. I'm going to give you some best tip to utilize Investorlift and what an attractive posting look like. Now, for that, let's go to one of our demo properties that will show you a good example of what an attractive posting looks like. The first thing that I look for in a posting is the title. Now, on the title, as you can see on this demo posting, we have a 3-part title. It consists of a hook, the location, and a call to action. Now, the hook is something that you can put in the beginning of the title that will spike the buyer interest. Now, this could be something like hidden gem by the ocean. It could be easy cosmetic flip single family home. Only 50% ARV, ready for your repairs. Whatever you can say that makes your property stand out, you want to put it as a hook to your title. Now, the second part is pretty straightforward. You want to put the location. Now, a lot of our buyers are nationwide or multi-state buyers. And when they see a location on a title that they like, they're going to be more likely to click on the email. I always like to include the city and the state of your property into the title. The last thing is going to be called call to action. Now that we have their attention and gave them the location, now we have to give them a reason to actually click into the email. This could, for example, be click for 3D walkthrough inside, see more pictures inside, inspection report included, great comps in the area. We're basically giving them a call to action where we're pushing them to take action to click onto the email. The title is important because I recommend people to use the subject title of the email as same as a title that we're going to use. We'll dive more into that once we get into the marketing campaigns. But let's next have a look at descriptions. Now, description is where it's a blank canvas. You can get a little creative, but this is going to be a good format and tips to follow. You don't want to have long paragraphs on your descriptions. You want to have point form, use different fonts and emojis where it's easy for the buyer to read. What we don't want to do in this section is just repeat the information that they already have access to. When you go to the published deals, they'll already be able to see the square footage, the bed and bath, the year built. That is already put all nicely on the right corner of your posting. So what you want to do with your description is give them extra information that will spike their interest. That could be such as a point of interest where we are showing them what is a close by area. So if there's 5 minutes to the beach, 15 minutes from a nearest golf course, if there's a great school in the neighborhood, you want to include that in the point of interest. Because guess what? The buyer, the investor, that will be buying your property will also be interested in what they're going to do after they flip the property. Or if they're renting it out, it's going to be important to them that all these amenities around the property is available to the end buyer. Also, include some details about the property that you would like to share. If the property has a new AC unit, if it has a foundation or structural inspection already done, and it's the roof has been replaced in the nearby time, we also want to include those items into the description because they're going to add value to your property. Everything that you do on the creating the posting side is going to be about adding value. Now, the third thing I would look at in terms of creating a posting is pictures. I cannot overstate how important quality pictures and the quantity of pictures are. Top closers on Investorlift and wholesale operations, there's a golden number to how many pictures you want to have. For a single family home on an Investorlift, you want to have between 30 to 50 pictures available. This is going to give the buyer enough information that they can use to see the condition of the house and see if this is a type of property that they want to invest. More pictures, the better. Now on the video and Matterport side, if you haven't used Matterport before, I highly recommend looking into it. Matterport is a 3D walkthrough that you can include into your posting. You can actually build it right into Investorlift, and it's going to show the 3D walkthrough where they can click buttons and explore inside the house just like they're virtually there. Now, this takes the video walkthrough to the next level. There's certain companies that will do this for you. Do your research and you'll be able to find good ones. Now, on the video side and Matterport, we found that we have in general $7,000 to $10,000 in increase in assignment fees just by including videos and Matterports. So if we can add value and give buyer more information, more buyers will show interest. More buyers means more offers mean higher assignment fees. Now let's move on to comps, open houses, documents. You can have things like inspection reports and repair estimates, floor plans. If you have anything you want to add, you can add it there. Comps, you can pull auto comps on Investorlift by clicking a button. It's going to give you about 10 comparable properties in the area. It's a good starting point for your comps. Just to be clear, if you want the most accurate comps, I recommend doing a manual comp alongside of this. Open house is pretty straightforward. Click the date that you're going to have an open house. A quick tip that not a lot of people know is that you can actually send out open house notifications as well. Now that's everything that I wanted to cover over the posting side. Now let's dive into marketing. Now that we have created a great posting, we now need to drive traffic into this posting. And the best way to do that is through the marketing campaign. Once you mark your property as available in Investorlift, you'll be able to click this new marketing campaign button. There's two sources of sending out campaigns. Number one is going to be emails, and number two is going to be text. Texting is pretty straightforward. Let's dive into emails first, and I'll show you the best tips to get the highest click-through rate. Now, the campaign title is for yourself. So I would name this something like email 1. It doesn't really matter, but the title, I'm going to use it as the same title of my property. Now, the first batch of emails that you sent is super important. What we wanted to do with email campaigns is we want to reduce the amount of emails that are going to go into spam folders or promotion folders and make sure that majority of our emails will end up at top of our buyer's inbox. Meaning that we don't want to crowd the first email with a lot of emails. What I recommend to do first is that we want to select the county. As soon as we select the county, Investorlift will auto-select all the buyers on your list who are actively investing within the county. As you can see, this demo property is in Hillsborough County in Florida. We have a lot of investors out there. Investorlift email campaigns are capped at 7,000 email per blast. You can send multiple blasts over 7,000, but if you follow the way that I will show you today, you wouldn't have to. With emails, more is not better. Even if you can send out 500,000 emails, the more important thing is, are we sending the emails to the relevant buyers? And how many of those relevant buyers are opening those emails and interacting with your posting? So what we want to maximize is the click-through rate of relevant buyers. Just by clicking the Hillsborough County, Investorlift is going to auto-select all the buyers that are on your list who's actively investing within the county. So they already are the most relevant for your deal. Now, for your first email, I recommend sending it to the VIP buyers first. There's two ways how a buyer becomes a VIP buyer on Investorlift. Number one of our users has manually went into the buyer profile and set them as a VIP. The second way is that they have an accepted offer on Investorlift. So these are buyers who have either been marked as a VIP or have bought a property already on Investorlift, meaning that these are going to be the buyers who are most likely to be interacting with their emails and clicking through the link. Now, when I select the only to VIP, I have about 885 buyers in this area. I'm going to click continue and send this campaign out by clicking the create campaign. Now, I recommend keeping the first blast to less than 1,000. The reason being, once the email providers receive this email and they see that the VIP buyers are interacting and opening the email and clicking through the link, they're going to mark this email as a good email. It's going to warm up the email for you, so the rest of the emails that you will send out on this campaign are more likely to end up in their inbox and increase your open rate and click-through rate. Now, once I send that out, I'm ready for my next campaign. For my next campaign, I'm going to name this email 2. I'm going to use the same subject line, and I'll still go to all buyers. Selecting the all buyers are going to include your Falcon buyers that's been added to your plan. Now that you clicked the county, what you're going to do next is get the second blast out. What I like to do with a second blast is increase the buyer score. We want to have less than about 3,000 emails for the second blast. So I'm going to put a number in there and see how many buyers we have in the bottom. We still have more than 7,000 buyers who have higher than 1,000 buyer score. Let's try 10,000 and see what we get. Now we have about 1,100 buyers that has a more than 10,000 buyer score. Now, another thing that I like to do is I like to exclude realtors and wholesalers out of this list. Now I'm down to 892. Because I'm aiming for around 3,000, I'm going to lower this to 5,000, and let's see what we get. Okay, try 3,000. All right, we're right at 2,900, which is perfect. I'm going to schedule this out by clicking the schedule button about 2 hours after my first blast to my VIPs have been sent out. That's going to give enough time for the first email blast to be warmed up. I can select the date, and I'm going to send it out 2 hours after. Obviously, I'm recording this outside of work hours, but for you, I recommend sending it during business hours. The best time to send email campaigns are going to be Monday to Wednesday in the morning. So 9 to 12 p.m. from Monday to Wednesday is where you want to aim. Now I'm going to schedule out my second blast and send this out. Now I'm going to repeat this process a couple more times until I have marketed my deal to all the buyers within the county. Now let's go to the texting side. Texting side is way more easier. I'm going to name this campaign text, and I'm just going to select the text button. I will follow the same process, select the all buyers. I'm going to select the county. Now keep in mind that you're going to see a reduced number of people who are opted in for texting. Due to the TCPA compliance, we are 100% compliant. Every person who will be receiving text messages from Investorlift have opted in for texting. Now, within the county, we have about 4,400 buyers who have opted in for texting. You don't have to warm up emails. You don't have to worry about subject titles. I would just click send and create campaign. What to expect after sending out emails and text. Emails, as you might have guessed, has a slower response rate. But what that means is that texting is instant. When you send out 4,000 texts, we see about 7 to 10% in average click-through rate. You're going to get about up to 400 people, 400 buyers coming in to check out your posting almost instantly. A lot of Falcon users forego texting. It is about 3 cents per text. To send out about 3,000 emails will be about $100 of cost. That is the main reason why people don't like to text. But they're basically letting go of 50% of marketing if they let go of texting. Texting is a lower number of text going out, but it's far more effective. So if you're not texting right now, there is no reason not to start. Let's get those both emails and text out and get the most amount of buyers coming to check out your deal. Again, don't skip out on texting. If you are a Falcon member using Investorlift and you take one thing away from marketing campaigns, it's to send text. All right, guys, we have reviewed how to make an attractive posting and how to market this deal out to our buyers. The third success key to Investorlift is going to be Artemis Mode. Artemis Mode is going to be available as soon as you make the posting available on Investorlift. You're going to click into Artemis Mode on the top right corner here of your posting, and it's going to be pre-selected on My Buyers. Now there's 2 sections to Artemis Mode. There's My Buyers and there's Neighbor Buyers. My Buyer is going to show you all the buyers who have shown interest in your deal. Every buyer, as soon as they click onto your posting, we track every single second and every single click the buyer does on the posting. And Artemis Mode My Buyer is going to rank these buyers automatically for you to show you who the most interested buyer is out of this list. So for example, on this demo property, Hi comes at the top of my list. This is because she has spent 16 minutes and 21 seconds on my posting. She came in, requested for an address. She viewed 175 pictures. Now I only have 30 pictures posted on this property, meaning that she viewed every single picture like 5 or 6 times over. She made 2 offers and she clicked in and out of the posting 35 times. Now, when a buyer shows this type of interaction and motivation, this shows a very high interest to buy. If Hi haven't called me already, I'm definitely going to call Hi and try to close a deal and generate an offer. That goes the same with Seth, Kylie, Casey. Casey spent almost 30 minutes on my posting. All these buyers are showing very high motivation to have a look at this property. And the best part, I have their full contact information right there. So generally speaking, I would call everybody above an action score of 250 on your My Buyers. Now, here's a tip that not a lot of our users know about. When I call Hi, I will connect with Hi, say, hey, I saw that you're investing in Hillsborough County in Florida. I have a beautiful 3-2 single family home, and it only requires minor repairs. I'm asking for about 256 or 255,000, but the ARV is going to be 315. Would you like to have a look? And if Hi is interested, she wants to have a look, there you would go into your vetting process. Now, a lot of you guys will ask, are you the end buyer? Are you the flipper? What are your plans to do with this property? But here's the thing. With Investorlift, there is a tool that you can use to vet the buyer right on the spot. All you really have to do is click on the name of the buyer to go to their buyer profile. Once you're at the buyer profile, you will see this button here that says External Buyer God Mode Profile. In here is where you can put the name of the LLC that the buyer operates under and be able to see and vet the buyer right on the spot. So I'll say, hi, that's great to know. May I ask, what is the name of the LLC that you guys flip under? The hi would say, oh, it's called Bay Area Executive or Affordable Homes LLC. This is just an example. We'll link this LLC to the buyer profile. Now what happens is you can click into the flip history and see all the flips that Hi has done under the tax records. I can see that she has done 2 different flips, and she's buying on average at $261 and selling at $339, holding it about 335 days on average. So if Hi makes an offer on my property, I know that it's a legitimate offer because she has the tax records of 2 flips that she's done in the past. Pretty amazing, right? All right, guys, last thing that I want to talk to you about on Investorlift is going to be God mode. A lot of the Falcon users and Lieutenant users, even Cartel users, actually forego the use of God mode. But this is a very big mistake. God mode will pull up every single flip history and buy and hold history in the surrounding area straight from the tax records. To put it simply, Artemis mode is Investorlift data. God mode is tax records. You want to maximize the amount of buyers that you reach, so do not forego the use of God mode. Now I'm going to show you how to utilize God mode very efficiently. Now with this property in St. Petersburg, there is around 730 flips that's been done in the area and 429 buyers. I don't want to call 429 buyers. You don't have to. What you can do is use a filter section to find the most relevant buyers for your deal. So I'm going to set the distance to about 3 miles. And I'm going to go to the flip data. I'll show you both. On the flip data, I'm going to set the distance to 3 miles. What I can do is set the sale date range back just 1 year. I can also set the ARV percentage from about 30 to 90%. Now, why 30 to 90%? I like to start at this point because the bottom 30%, first of all, will get rid of all the outliers below 0%, but also the buyers who are either developers or going to pay too low for my deal. The top 10% I like to get rid of. Also, you will get rid of outliers above 100%, but also all the double closes that's happening in the area. Just by doing this, we're down from about 500 to 49 buyers. Everyone on this list is going to be the most relevant for my deal. There's 3 things that I will watch out for when I'm using God mode. Number 1, their buyer score. They get 1,000 points for every flip that they have done under the tax records. So for this company, they've done 628 flips. The second thing I will watch out for is going to be the hold time. Generally speaking, the hold time of less like 1 or 2 days is a double close. Last thing is going to be the ARV percentage and the validated phone number. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly with you. I'm seeing hold day one day, skip, 10 days, skip, 111 days, 36%. That's a flip. That's a hit. They've done 152 flips, and the best part is that God mode has been built out. We have something called a decentralized data network, where if one user skip traces and validates a number, on God mode, that's shared across the board. What that means for you is that a lot of these numbers are already skip traced with validated phone numbers in green. For this company here, I already have that number, so I'm going to call this number and connect with the buyers directly. If they just closed out 2 deals in the past year, just within the 3-mile radius, what are the chances that they're going to be interested in your deal? I will say that's very high. Now on the buy and hold, it works pretty much the same. The only difference and the perk of using buy and hold data is the property type. If you have a land deal, development, multifamily, townhouse, or special type of property that you want to offload and see who's paying and who's buying in the area, you can actually select a specific property type. For this property, it's a single family, so I'll leave it there. But I'm going to set the ownership start year to just last year. And now we have 55 buyers who have bought a single family home in the area just within the past year. And this is what that list would look like. And keep in mind, now the score that you see on this list is going to be about how many properties are they buying and holding. For the first company that pop up on this list, they are buying and holding about 1,200 properties. And they just bought a single family home in the 3-mile radius last year in July. The chances are that he's going to be interested in another rental to add to his portfolio is very, very high. Awesome, guys. So that is everything that I wanted to cover with you guys today. I want to review the 5 key points of success on Investorlift. Number 1 is going to be creating an attractive posting. Number 2 is using marketing campaigns on Investorlift to expose your deal to as many qualified buyers as possible. Number 3 is using Artemis Mode. Let's call everyone on that list above an action score of 250, both on my buyers and neighbor buyers. Number 4, let's utilize God Mode to connect directly with the best buyers in the area. Number 5, I have not mentioned yet, but you're going to see all the property inquiries and offers and address requests come into your posting. We want to respond to these inquiries and address requests very fast. You can see the combination of all the property inquiries under the tab on the left here and all the offers for the properties in the offers tab. Make sure that the buyers are receiving a phone call or at least a text as soon as they request for an address or inquire about your property. Offers, I don't really have to say. They want to buy it. Let's call them and close out the deal. Thank you for joining today's video. I hope you guys found this helpful. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment anything below. I'm gonna read all the comments if you guys have anything that you guys want me to cover in the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much.